love it.
Hey, I know. Listen, that's our theme song. That's our that's the last time we'll show that at the opening. Cause guess what? Saturday is the meetup. I'm so excited. I'm so
Me
excited. We'll
too.
talk more about that. Listen, sister girls, anybody that is in earshot of my voice, this is almost going to feel like a repeat, but it's not. Last week we talked about some elevator speeches, just giving you the words to talk to someone about this lifestyle. Well, now we're taking up a level because we're going to give you some meat to put on the bones, that when you are talking with someone, because a lot of times people say, gee, man, you just really explain that. Well, here it is for you so you can explain it as well. I'll say again, y'all, I'm on a ship. And when the stuff that I am seeing is breaking my heart. All right. Tonight we're going to cover the cholesterol, gallbladders, toxins, and sugar. Why the big food, big pharma, and bad advice is harming you. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about. So let's get real for a minute. What if everything that you've been taught about health, fat, and cholesterol was totally wrong? I want you to think about what it is that I just said. What if those things that we have been taught, because I can tell you, you remember the food pyramid, you remember what is uh um the um the best, no, the best meal of the day. What is
The,
it?
the
Yeah,
most important meal of the
the
day.
most important meal of the day. We all know they're gonna say it's our breakfast. The food
Uh-huh.
pyramid was not done or by a doctor. It was created. That was an ad. That was to get us to buy more grains and stuff like that. But you see how we done ran off with it? Why? Because a particular segment in our country made a whole bunch of money. It's like, whoa, they fell for this food pyramid. Let's do it again. All right. So listen, a lot of things we've been taught is wrong. So what if the foods that you've been told to eat, come on, this is the one that really get me, told to eat, that says stay, this gonna help you stay healthy, are actually the ones that's making you sick. It's inflaming your body and messing with your insulin, messing over in your thoughts. All right. So today, Robin and I are breaking down again. I'll say it again, because we talked about this before, but we bring it in a whole nother light. Cholesterol, the gallbladder, plant toxins, and sugar. And we're going to show you why the medical and food industries don't want you to know the truth. By the end of this show, you're going to see your body in a whole new light and know exactly how to protect it for your family, okay? For yourself and your family. All right. Robin is going to let us. But you know what, Robin, really quick, when I say that for your family, y'all, testimonies end up being so much. I'm out on the ship. When I finally got some internet, this message came through. She said, something I wanted to share with you. I'm not on social media a lot, but I see a lot of your posts. Y'all, I talk about this. I didn't do this when I was vegan. I didn't any of that. I share this now. And she said, my husband has been struggling with his A1C. Let me talk to the people over there in the back. All right. And recently had to get a glucose monitor. I was sharing with him some of the things that you posted online, and we watched a few episodes together. Let's fast forward 2 to 3 months later. My husband is now on the carnivore diet, and all of his numbers have stabilized. And then she says, I think y'all are on to something amazing. Y'all, when I say to you, we feel like we was Moses and went up in the mountaintop, and we come back with the 10 commandments telling you, thou shalt eat meat. Thou shalt eat meat and fat and enjoy it. It's like we come back and then we just feel like we crazy because you got to have a starch. You got to have a vegetable. You got to, what you mean? But it made sense to you to not eat meat. Okay. All right. So, Robin, let's start with something everyone's talking about. Once again, the moment that we tell people about this, they say, what about your cholesterol? Why
That's
is it
right.
so important? And why do we really fear? A cholesterol number. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, so that I mean that is really true, G, what you're saying about the fact that when you tell somebody that they're going to eat only meat, that's the first question. Well, what about my cholesterol? I'm gonna have a heart attack if I do that. And cholesterol, I mean, well, I really think it's not necessarily the thing that's clogging your arteries to begin with. But cholesterol is so important in the body. It's like building blocks and armor for your body. And so, if you want to have what they call balanced hormones or regulated hormones, I would say your body needs cholesterol to do that. So, for estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, cholesterol is like your internal command center. Every cell in your body is repaired with cholesterol. Every cell in your body requires cholesterol. So, without it, your cells cannot heal properly. So we're trying to fix our house. We're trying to fix our house without any nails. We don't have the proper tools. And cholesterol is one of the tools that is in our tool belt. Low cholesterol is like trying to fix your house without the proper tools, right? So your body needs cholesterol. That's why it makes cholesterol. And so, what I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, why did God give it to us if we didn't need it? Like, and so we do. Your liver is like a factory for cholesterol. It knows exactly how much to produce every day, which is about 75 to 80% of what you need. Taking a statin, which is the drug that they give you when your cholesterol is high, and we'll talk about cholesterol levels and things like that, is telling your factory to stop production. Even though the city, your body, still needs cholesterol to function. Every single cell in your body requires cholesterol to function properly. So, cholesterol is also the main ingredient for bile. And G's going to talk to us about bile a little bit more later, but bile is like dish soap for fat. So, you're it sprinkles out and it breaks that grease up. So, if I'm going to say it before G says it, if we didn't need to eat fat, why would we have an organ that does this job, breaks up the grease? Without it, your fat can't break down, your gallbladder gets sluggish, and toxins start building up in your body. So it's trying to wash a sink. Have you ever done this? Try to wash a sink full of greasy dishes in some cold water with no Dawn. You're going to end up with a another sink full of greasy dishes because you cannot get that grease out without that. It's messy. It's really, really messy. I always think about like when my kids were younger. Well, I got these grandkids in here now, y'all, using plastic bowls and stuff. You know, you got to put some hot water and some grease remover on that stuff because otherwise, you're gonna pull it out the cabinet and it's still greasy. And so yeah, that's a huge problem. So, it's harmful over time, right? It's just harmful for us not to have enough cholesterol in our bodies over time. So let's talk about statins a little bit, because that's the first thing that the medical community will want to do is put you on a statin if your cholesterol is high. So in 1987, statins first came on the scene. The first one was called lovastatin. And at that time, the doctors said that a total cholesterol of over 350 milligrams per deciliter was dangerous. 350. Okay, so we're way up there, 350. But by the 1990s, they lowered that number again. They lowered that number to 240 milligrams per deciliter. And then in the early 2000s, they continued to lower it down to 200 milligrams per deciliter. And today, some guidelines even say that you need to keep it as low as 180 milligrams per deciliter. And so this is like someone keeps moving the finish line. We start out at 350, and now we're down to 180. Right? You're in the race, but the finish line keeps moving every time you get close to it. You're running hard, but no matter what, they tell you it's still not enough. And that's what lowering cholesterol numbers repeatedly does. It makes us confused. It makes us confused. And it makes healthy people feel broken and puts them on drugs they don't need. Hashtag no statins. So the danger is that your body actually needs cholesterol for survival. Lowering it artificially is like removing bricks from the foundation of your house. The house may stay standing for a while, but cracks will appear. I want to say that I did have a conversation with Dr. Ovadia, however you want to say, and he is a heart surgeon. And he told me that 100% of the people that go onto his operating table for heart surgery have metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, but maybe about 50% have high cholesterol. So, so that's a problem, right? What are the side effects of the statin? So, first of all, hashtag no statins, but muscle pain and weakness. And I have heard people say this before. They got on a statin and they were just like so dragged out, they couldn't even function anymore. It's like your body's engine is sputtering because the fuel it needs is being restricted. Fatigue and low energy, trying to run your life on a car battery that's half dead. Liver damage. Your detox system is overworked like a factory dumping waste into a river. And memory issues. Now, this is one that's a little bit scary. If you start taking a medication and then all of a sudden your memory starts to fail, that is a problem because it means that your brain is not getting the building blocks that it needs. And as I said, every single cell in your body requires cholesterol to function properly. So this is when you get your memory issues and you're not getting your building blocks together right. It's like trying to assemble a piece of furniture without instructions. Now, look, these kids came in here with these beds. Their mama ordered them these beds. They have like thousands of pieces. I can't imagine trying to put that together without you got one thing that's got a one on it, another thing, and you put those two things together. That's what we're trying to do by lowering our cholesterol too much. And then also with low cholesterol, you have an increased risk of diabetes. So, insulin and sugar balance gets thrown off. It's creating more problems than it solves. So, again, hashtag no statins. Millions of people are taking, so first of all, the statin is a multi-billion dollar industry, multi-billion dollars. I put up a video about this about a couple of months ago because I'm like, why are they telling us that we need to take these statins? Well, they're planning on it to be like $1 trillion industry within the next few years. So it's a lot about money. But millions of people are taking it thinking it's protecting them. But really, their bodies are trying to tell them something important. Cholesterol is not your enemy, it's your ally. Your body needs it to heal, think clearly, and stay balanced. If we treat cholesterol like a villain, we're the ones who lose. So while statins tell us to fear cholesterol, G's going to talk about our gallbladder, which is quietly waiting for the fat that we're refusing to eat. Let's talk about why your gallbladder actually needs that cholesterol to work properly. You're on mute, G.
Bam! And while we're talking about cholesterol and fat, we're going to look at this little organ. And let me just say this is my own disclaimer right now. I'm off script. There is no way with what I'm going to say to you that have you ever said that you know that you know that you know? I mean, that nothing what anybody can say can waver what it is that you know. Because we're so wonderfully made, and it's not multifunctional. The only purpose for you to have this organ in your body, it is to process the meat. This is the Dawn dishwashing liquid of your body. So when like she talked about the greasy dishes and all this other stuff, that needs to be broken down. And that's what the bile does that's stored in your gallbladder. That's it. Your liver produces the bile and uses cholesterol for it, and it's over in that gallbladder. I can't say it enough, but let me just say. So watch this here. Your gallbladder is like a well-stocked gas station for fat. I actually like the Dawn dishwashing liquid because most of us have used Dawn, and most of us have tried to wash something, and it's like, dog, you still feel that grease on that plastic. Baby, you get that Dawn and just hit it. You can rub with your hand. Gone. They even used Dawn for when the Exxon Valdez and it had the oil spill, and they was getting it off of the Dawn is no joke, but neither is your gallbladder, right? So, like I said, your liver makes the fuel, which is the bile, but the gallbladder stores it and releases it exactly when you need it. It's like at the gas pump. It's delivering premium fuel right when your car hits empty. Without it, your fat doesn't get broken down properly. I say it again. Without it, your fat doesn't get broken down properly. You may feel bloated, gassy, sluggish because your body is trying to run on fuel that's never reaching the engine. We have taken fat blockers. We take it every time you turn around. And I'm guilty. What is them? That stuff that you used to can take that it was supposed to block you from eat. So you like, and then wait a minute, girl. Then they told you you can't take the pill if you're not eating some fat because it's not good for you. So you had to eat the fat and eat the chips and all this other stuff to get it to block or the. And I'm sitting up here doing this stuff and grease pretty much leaking out your tailbone, and we thought that that was okay. No, your body is trying to run on fuel that's never reaching your engine. That fat is important. Fat just isn't fat, it is essential. Come on. I told you at the beginning of this video, it's going to go against everything that we have been taught. It's going against everything that we have been taught. It's going against what we have been taught. But what we've been taught, you ain't happy with your body. I looked at some people today, your butt might get wider, but it might get wider just at the top. It didn't bloom all the way out. It's almost like your body just stuff is just coming on out different kind of ways. Ankles are this big. All of these different things that's taking place with your body. It was never meant to go through that. Fat isn't just fat, it's essential for your hormones, your energy, for the absorption of A, D, E, and K. So imagine trying to bake a cake without sugar, eggs, or butter. Let's just reach you what you are. Everybody know that. You're not making cakes now, but just try and make one without it. There's no real substitute. I know because I was trying to make them substitute cake as a vegan, and it just wasn't hitting all the time. You won't get the results you want. Your body will not function properly without fat. I did not say you were going to you wasn't going to live if you didn't eat fat. You're surviving off of not eating it, but how's that working out for you? Right. So when you skip fat, bile sits in your gallbladder like gas left in the pump that nobody uses. How what you think happened? You done put some gas in there. You done ran the gas down. You got a little sludge, just a little, and you just never burn it anymore, and it just sits there, right? And it turns into the sludge, a sticky toxic, and it's stagnant. The sludge can then harden into gallstones. So if you've ever uh, had a gallstone, well, welcome. There you go. You didn't eat enough fat. So the thing that they've been telling you to stay away from, and some of you might say, I don't have my gallbladder, but I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So if you've ever seen an old grease pan sitting out for weeks, what that stagnant bile looks like in your gallbladder, gross, right? And yes, it can poison your system. So my husband currently does not have his gallbladder, and I contribute that to the time where I was vegan for 4.5 years, and I was refusing to cook meat in the house because I felt that vegan was at the top of the food chain. Once you got there, that was it. But we're gonna talk about the poisons and the toxins a little bit later in the show. I really thought that was it. Well, guess what? That bile was sitting in his gallbladder, and I was giving it nothing. It's not secreting on lettuce and tomatoes and pasta and bread and potatoes and greens and macaroni and cheese. It's just sitting there, turning into sludge, poisoning the system because it doesn't work on that. God gave you that for fat and your protein. That's it. Okay. I can't say it. Look, it's not, I can't say it enough. I can't. So here's another thing. God gave us this organ for a reason. Your gallbladder exists because your body was designed to use fat, right? If you got a paper and pill, so I'm going to repeat that for you. Your gallbladder exists because your body was designed to use fat and not avoid it. So if you're afraid of fat, you're basically starving your gallbladder and your body at the same time because the gallbladder needs the fat to secrete, or this can turn into sludge gallstones, and you might have to have it removed. So that's how important fat is just to the one organ. Now, because you have that, it's going to put it all over the body because all cells need it, including your brain. That's how I know you're supposed to eat meat. Eating fat doesn't make you fat. Avoiding it can turn your body sick, sluggish, and inflamed. There are toxins in plants. And while we're talking about what we're eating or not eating, let's look into those foods. We're told it's at the top of the food chain. I told you we were going to talk about this. So Robyn's going to tell you about the toxins in plants and why we are tricked into thinking vegetables are the holy grail of health.
That's right. You are absolutely right, G. I mean, you just talked about it, that you thought that the vegan was the top of the food chain. Think about that. Think about that. What kind of animals are at the top of the food chain? So we know that plants are not at the top of the food chain, but we're talking about what fat does for us. So we're going to just take a little step back. Look at what we've been taught to eat, what we've been told to eat for decades. Plants. So I'm talking about, they say eat the rainbow. They said you got to have so many servings of fruits and vegetables every day, and so on and so forth. And look at that food pyramid, you guys. I want you to go back and look at the food pyramid that we have today and realize that that food pyramid is upside down and backwards. And stuff's on there that we never should be consuming in anyway. So you might be a little bit surprised at how little of our human history actually revolves around plants, right? So fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, rice, pasta, all the things, right? For most of our human history, we were meat eaters first. We hunted, we fished, we ate animals, and we used every single part of the animal, nose to tail, from the organs to the marrow. Nothing of the animal went to waste. Plants were secondary, so they were seasonal. Think about your area. Where do you live in the world? What kind of vegetables and plants do you see that you can get in your area year round? I doubt that there are any, if I mean many, if any, right? So they were seasonal, they were supplemental. The main course was the meat. And it wasn't until societies created agriculture that these plants became so popular all around the world. Grains, legumes, they became the centerpiece of our diets. And what happened to us? Lord help us. What happened to our bodies was our bodies were damaged by so much plant matter, right? It's an overconsumption problem. So let's think about this. Our body has not evolved to thrive on processed grains Go through the grocery store in your mind. What do you see in the aisles? I'm talking about processed foods and beans as the main source of food and calories. This is a societal decision. It's not biology. So that's not what we are supposed to be eating for the most part. The other thing about plants is that they are toxic. You guys have heard this, the Dr. Anthony Chafee. Have y'all heard of him talking about plants are trying to kill you? Yeah, plants have toxins, they have defense mechanisms. And so they're not rolling out the red carpet for us and saying, come over here and eat me. They have these defense mechanisms that they have to survive. Lectins, oxalates, and phytates. And these things store up in your body, and they're toxic. And so plants really are trying to kill you. They're natural toxins that are designed to protect the plant from being eaten. I mean, how many of you are going to go and pick up a raw potato and eat that? You can't. A lot of these things like greens and green beans and different things that we eat, we have to cook it to death, like to make it even edible. Otherwise, it's going to make you sick. When we eat these plants in high amounts, they irritate our gut lining. So they cause issues like IBS. How many of us have that? I know I did. I had IBS. People have Crohn's, they get leaky gut, and a lot of autoimmune responses from too many plants. So imagine your gut as a fine leather shoe. Plant toxins are like walking through mud in them every single day. They're going to wear down the lining slowly until it starts cracking. The other thing is that there's this fiber myth. How many of you, like, raise your hand if you think you need fiber? We have been sold the idea that fiber is essential. I just had this discussion with my daughter. My daughter works for gastro. She's a gastroenterology medical assistant. And of course, in gastroenterology, one of the primary things that they would use would be fiber for a person who is having bathroom issues, right? So I had to say, I think we're going to agree to disagree on this. Fiber is non-essential because I haven't had fiber in 2.5 years. And, am regular as the day is long and no longer have an IBS issue. So fiber is non-essential. Humans have a single stomach. We're not like cows and sheep and goats that have a multi-chambered stomach that is designed to digest plants. Those animals chew and regurgitate and chew and regurgitate and pass that food through their multi-chambered stomach to make it something that is actually edible. So eating a ton of plant fiber is like trying to run your car on sand instead of gas. Can you imagine? Like, I'm going to go to the gas tank and fill up, and instead of putting gasoline in there, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it up with sand. I don't think you're going anywhere. It does not work for your body. So while plants can be a part of a meal occasionally, I am a person who says that some people do not have to be a full-on carnivore. Some people can be ketovore. Some people can be keto, maybe. But if you're having an overconsumption of plants, that's the problem. So if you're having a handful of berries for antioxidants or herbs for medicine, but they were never meant to be the centerpiece. And I think about when I was on keto, how I was on a high plant-based keto, fat keto, but I was eating so much plants. I mean, I would eat a half a head of cauliflower at a sitting. I would have a half a plate filled with broccoli, and a small piece of meat. That's never meant to be the centerpiece of your diet. Our bodies are designed to utilize animal protein and fat as our primary fuel, not grains, legumes, or large amounts of plant fiber. So I'm going to say it again. The main fuel source for humans has always been animal protein and fat. God gave you one gallbladder and one stomach, not a multi-chamber stomach. And we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So plants can create hidden problems, but sugar is another silent killer. And so we always talk about sugar on here. It messes with every system of your body, and we're feeding it to ourselves and even our kids every single day. Gie's going to break that down for us.
There you go. I'm like, yes, I am. I do want to talk about the hidden silent killers, because I'm once again I'm just watching it. Someone shared a video of their grandchild after they ate some high sugar content items, and um the young man is on the spectrum, but those tics really started kicking in. And I think of my own granddaughter with those little things, that movement where it's like they can't help it. They can't help it. That sugar is in them. And I think of, let's say, for instance, you had your nervous system, and maybe you can visualize it like this. If you took and you were dropping Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, get the crud off of the battery caps. I done heard some of everything in regards to just let it sit and how you can brush it off. All of these different things, just all your nerve endings, sugar is attacking those. And so involuntary movement, all of these things are taking place. Uh Sugar is a legalized, to me, drug that you could actually give to an infant. And we say this on the show, how Philip Morris sold his part of the tobacco, and now he's into sugar. Because where he had to wait for somebody to be 21 to sell them a cigarette, he can get you right in the hospital. Right in the hospital, give you free formula. Is it really, really free? Give this to get you hooked, and then to go on and buy their brand, because they can start now targeting the infants in there. Let's talk about an ideal blood sugar. Our bodies are designed tight control over sugar. I think of our ancestors. And I told Frederick this the other day. I think of things that are naturally sweet. I thought of honey. I don't see somebody sitting eating a whole honeycomb. When you're not used to that anyway, that's so super sweet in your mouth. I think of maple syrup from a maple tree. I think of that. I think of the actual cane, the sugar cane. I think of that. And so I say, Lord, is that how it can be? But are you getting ready to put syrup on meat? Because you're not putting it on anything else. So
Right.
what would you really use that syrup for? Dip your finger in it and taste it, because technically your body can only handle a teaspoon of sugar a day. Fasting blood sugar should only be 70 to 100 mgdls, deciliters. Robin knows all of this. And even
Milligrams per
after
deciliter.
meals, milligrams per decimal. There you go. It shouldn't even spike high after you eat, because if you're eating only meat, there really isn't a spike, right? So this is what happens. Too much sugar too often overwhelms your system. That's anybody, babies, infants. Oh, why they crying? That formula is tearing them up. When your sugar
Mhm.
goes up, insulin spikes. Your insulin will spike to pull out of your blood the sugar. Over time, your cells stop lifting. And that's what insulin resistance is, when your cells stop responding. And then comes the onset, of course, of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and yes, heart disease. Where you were blaming salt, baby, sugar was your culprit the entire time. Imagine your body as a sponge. Every time you eat sugar, insulin tells the sponge to soak it up. But if you just keep on pouring, let's think about it. You had oatmeal, these parfaits, you've had fruits and berries on top, you've had your tea, you might have put honey over in it, you had some toast, you put jam on it. And I just told you you're supposed to have a teaspoon of sugar. So by doing that, if a sponge, every time you eat sugar, is supposed to tell the sponge to soak it up, eventually you keep pouring the sugar in and the sponge is just saturated. The sugar just stays in your blood. Before you know it, we talking about cutting the toe off. Huh? Causing inflammation and damage. You are blaming sugar, I mean salt, for what sugar has been doing. Those dark circles under your eyes, psoriasis, high blood pressure. That's just to name a few. Sugar is your culprit, not salt. Sidebar, I asked somebody, salt is all in the earth. The word says you are the salt of the earth. There's more water on earth than land, and all of this water out here is salt water. You were made from the dirt. Why would you think you don't need salt? And so, at what point sugar was going to be the answer? Children are especially vulnerable because their brains and bodies are still developing. Yet we feed them sugar-packed cereals. We do fruit juices, snacks before they even know what a healthy snack or diet even looks like. I see people trying to keep their and I was guilty. Well, I used to do Cheerios, but that's not it's still bad. Whether it's Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puff, whatever it is that you put over in them little Ziploc bags so that kid have a snack. And all you did was feed him up. And then when he gets somewhere, now you want to whoop his tail because he ain't gonna be still, but his body is pinging. You just gave him an overdose. Excess sugar in kids have been linked to ADHD symptoms, autism spectrum behaviors, and metabolic issues later on in life. There are kids. Ask yourself, do you know, or ask your young kids, is there anybody in school with diabetes? And yes, there's the juvenile diabetes, and it ain't type 1. It is the onset type 2 from what it is that we have been feeding them, and their bodies are breaking down earlier and earlier. Think about your nephew or your granddaughter bouncing off the walls after they have a sugary treat. That's just kids being kids. No, it's not. That was literally a spike in sugar affecting their brains, their hormones, and long-term health. It was actually a warning sign from their body telling you that it's not functioning well, but are you adhering to the signs? So let me get this straight. You give him sugar, you know he's gonna ping off the walls, but you're gonna give him sugar again. So at what point are you gonna realize that, okay, so what if I said that was cocaine in the bag? Well, I wouldn't give my kid, but he's acting the same, bouncing off the walls and doing all this other stuff as if you had gave him a drug, because that's what sugar is. Okay, your body is talking to you, literally is talking to you. Now the adult, you got love handles, fupas, middle fat rolls, swollen ankles. Now you need a bigger bra, you need larger clothes size. These are just cosmetic. They are signals. Your body is in distress. So let me just show y'all, because what, I don't know what I just did. Because I don't ever like people to feel that I am body shaming anyone. Okay. That was me on the left. Wait a minute. That was me on the left as a vegan, standard American diet. Yes, it is. I was a vegan. Here are all my vegan walks. Now, this big one on the left, that was standard American diet. But then keep going on down. That was me as a vegan. But all the way on the right, that's me as a carnivore. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you in regards to what I'm telling you. I'm living the truth. So picture your body like a filing cabinet. If you keep tossing in papers without organizing them, the cabinet will overflow. So your love handles and your swollen ankles, that's an overflow folder telling you that your system is in an overload. So I'm letting you know. You want to know, then you have this extra. You have this extra. You have this extra where actually you done lost weight and don't even look like yourself anymore. Your rings are getting stuck. Your ankles are swelling. Okay. Your thighs are rubbing together. Okay. Some people haven't even seen their true body parts in a while because of the fat. You got to lift it to clean it. All of these things, that is the effects of eating the wrong foods. It's your body ain't breaking down. You giving it what it doesn't want. Let's go repair that gallbladder. So over years, unchecked sugar intakes lead to chronic illnesses like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, hormone imbalances. And it's sneaky. You might feel fine at first, but the damage is building underneath the surface. I want to talk to women who've been eating the standard American diet for decades. They look normal. But when you do their labs, they show insulin resistant, elevated triglycerides, and a metabolic strain. Sugar isn't just calories. Stop with the calories. I don't count calories. It's a slow poison. You feel because you drank the sweet tea and you didn't keel over and die. But I'm telling you the damage that it has done. So if you're really ready to take your health to another level, listen, we want to share with you the community that Robyn and I have put together. We'll first start with the Hey Sister Girl group. We have a Hey Sister Girl. It is facebook.com/group/Hey Sister Girl. You do have to answer the questions. So you come and you don't answer the questions, I decline. I don't even know who you are, because the questions are really a lot for you. Well, you know what it is that you're looking for. So we have that. But we also have another community. I'm going to let Robyn tell you about it and tell you a lot of stuff in regards to accountability and everything. Go and share it with them, Robyn.
So we do have Marco Polo groups. I want to say that I do have a Marco Polo group is for guys. So our membership group is you can become a member by joining it on our YouTube channels. So either myself or G, if you click the join button, you choose the $19.99 a month option, and that is the Marco Polo groups. In that community, we do a lot of amazing things, but we provide daily motivation. We encourage each other to meet our goals. Let's say that we do talk about our intentions. Like right now we're setting intentions for the next month, and so it's a really good place. It's a community. And that's what we need, because a lot of times when we are in this space, in the carnivore space, we're by ourselves. Our families are not with us, our friends are not with us, and so the community aspect is so critical. So that Marco Polo group is there, and it's available for you if you would like.
There you go. So let me see. Is that it? Oh, no, wait. That's it. That's the Hey Sister Girl group right there, Pierre. I'm going to address you in a moment right here. If you go to gbrown.com, that'll be what the website look like. Hold on. Let me move your comment so I can do this on the other side. And up there where I have that arrow, questionnaire and menus. You see that? So when you click it, it can drop down and answer the questions on the questionnaire. And then you turn around and hit submit. gbrown.com. That's it right there. Go there, answer those questions. And once you hit submit, a menu will come back to you. Okay. And it will break down these meats that we've talked about and everything. We do have some times where we do a Hey Brother Man. And we're going to stop here. We do have a video because we have an event coming up this Saturday, y'all. I want you to know about it. You might still, you could be a walk-in. Okay. Just
Come
come on
on,
to the
come on,
door.
come on.
There you go. But I want to say this because I found especially when I'm talking to men, would you like to walk your daughter down the aisle, or attend your son's wedding or his graduation, or he might be the first one graduating from college? Any of those things as a legacy. Do you want to be walking in on a cane? Do you want to have to be wheeled in? Is that what you want? Do you really love the woman that you are with? Why is it that later on she has to become your nurse? Because you don't want to take time to get that A1C under control. You know doggone well when you stand in that mirror and look to the side that you look 7, 8, 9 months pregnant. But that's supposed to be attractive to her because she is loving you. I'm saying to you, brother man, that there you can change. And plus, this is Robyn, I'm gonna tell you this. We always as women turn around and say that we go on a diet with our spouses and they lose 40 pounds and we lose 2. So already you're going to just be exponential on this way of eating. So why would you not want to do that for your family? You somebody's favorite uncle, you somebody's favorite cousin, you somebody's best friend. So I'm asking you, brother man, I'm asking you to get yourself right. You don't want to be off in a home. Look at my husband, the way that I love him, I let him know you'll never have to clean my butt, because I want to have myself in a situation where I can bathe myself, I can take care of myself, and we can walk down the hall together and we can do these different things for years to come. That's my promise to him, and that's his promise back to me. I don't want, and what got this young lady when I read that story earlier, when I said we show, and we've said this on the show, how we show our love to our men. What we've even been taught, a way to a man's heart is through his what? Stomach. So that's when we turn around. I think of that movie Waiting to Exhale, when she over there, and he was putting the stuff in the truck, and she's like, "Well, you want to come over? You know, I got little greens, little collard greens, and some fried chicken, some okra. I might do some butter bean." We naming all these different things because we doing that stuff from scratch. I'm old school. So we did our macaroni and cheese from scratch. We did all these. When I ain't open no what you call it, I peeled them sweet potatoes. I put that real butter in there. We did all these things, and we made these plates of love. When in actuality, I was passing you a casket. In actuality, I was passing you diabetes. In actuality, I was passing you high blood pressure, because it's not in the salt. It's in the sugar that I done gave you, in that sweet tea, in that good thing of Kool-Aid. So I say to you, brother man, I don't know where this went left, but I'm saying, because y'all sister girls, we here. Encourage your men. But listen, Robyn, you got anything you want to add?
I just want to say, and I said this at I was at a baptism service the other week, and I thought we're loving our people to death with this food that we're eating. So congratulations, Pierre. You know, we definitely are here to support you, and want to make sure that you know get what you need. So reach on out and let us know how we can help you, because it's not easy, but it's very, very simple. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all
And
next
worth
time.
it. And worth it. There you go. See y'all.
All right, Kitty.